Hey, woo! A happy new year, a happy new year, a happy new year. This is ATAS, Across Time and Space podcast, slash YouTube live stream, slash everything you want in your day. It's a new year, but I'm still the same person,
And your boy,
ace of cross culture.
Tipsy Japan, back with
Okay,
another
all
episode
right.
of, of ATAS Across Time and
ATAS.
Space. First episode of ATAS this year. And
Yeah.
let me just say, Shinne Nakemashite, omedetou gozaimasu. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku onegai moshiagemasu. Yeah, let's go. I'm hyped. I'm ready.
We in there
And I'm
somewhere.
ready.
All right. So, Tipsy Japan on his channel, you know what he does. Definitely go check him out. I don't have a link in the description tonight, but definitely just look up TPC Japan and you'll find this man. All right. He has a lot of great videos, a lot of stuff dealing with self improvement through the physical lens. So you definitely want to go there. And everybody has a New Year's resolution to get a little thinner, get a little more in shape. It's a fun way to get out there, fun and easy ways to, build your body if that's what you're trying to do this year.
And rebuild it after all that eating. New Year's was amazing. This year, I thank God I was very blessed. I was very blessed to eat a lot of food and just get charged physical food, food, soul food. Wow. Yeah, I need to work out. I need to get back to the gym. So I'm all covered up. What was your best dish during New Year's?
Best dish. So, Mexicans make some very specific foods during the holidays. One of them being tamales.
Tamales. Yeah.
I didn't have tamales on New Year's, and I actually went to bed before 12. But there's also what's called buñuelos, and this is like super thin and crispy fried dough topped with cinnamon sugar. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, it's high in the calorie count.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get out there a little bit more.
Get
those pounds off.
So and there's so many traditional foods here in Japan. Maybe my favorite though would have to be yakimochi, which sounds like jealousy. What it means is it's actually yakimochi, not yaki kimochi, right? Yakimochi is grilled mochi, which is rice cakes. But some people grill it, and then once it's heated up, this small rice patty looking thing, right? Once it's heated up, you add some soy sauce on both sides, and then you put it back in the grill. All right, and then it gets soft, and the rice cake itself cracks a little bit, and then you add some soy sauce into those nooks and crannies, and then you put it back in again. Oh man, that's good. That is delicious, and it's rice and soy, and that's it. Soy sauce. And at the end, though, you wrap it in seaweed. There's no, of course, it's a dried seaweed laver. If you say it like that, it doesn't sound like seaweeds.
Laver.
Yeah, that's the name for it. But like the seaweed eaten in Japan, like it's not just the seaweed itself, right? Like it's dried, it's cut very thin, like paper thin, thinner than paper, as a matter of fact, because it's sometimes almost see-through. You it's translucent, and what you do is dry that and then layer it, right? And then you get basically the seaweed that's used to wrap sushi or wrap
Mm.
other dishes, onigiri, rice balls, and so on. So yeah, you wrap that rice cake in the seaweed, and it has this, scent of the ocean. Oh man, that right there, that you can take out the Manny Shevitz and just enjoy.
Oh God,
Man, oh Manny Shevitz. Have you heard that one, Mr. Kosher?
man, oh Manny Shevitz, no,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Kosher. Since when am I kosher?
I thought you were cross kosher.
I'm cross culture, not cross coach kosher.
Uh, uh, uh. But yeah, definitely had a lot of wonderful dishes and had a great time with family I haven't met in a few years, in
Mm,
person after the
yeah.
stupid pandemic,
Oh.
after the pandemic. That's what I
Don't
want to
no
say
no no no
after.
no. No after. We're still going through it.
Still in it.
It's still yes. This thing is
Yeah.
mutating. We got a what is it? The Omicron variant now. The
Mhm.
Transformers we're naming them after. I don't understand. Like like chill, calm
But the
down.
the Omicron variant is weaker in terms of you know, the symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
than previous versions. So that's a good thing. Less people are
Yeah.
dying of it. That's a good thing. It's extremely contagious, but maybe it's just the cold. We can get over it eventually.
I mean, if you're vaccinated, then the symptoms are actually less just because
Mhm,
you're vaccinated. So
mhm,
it's not. I'm not trying to get into any political things, but look into and research for
mhm.
yourself rather than hearing from others, and then make an informed decision. That's all I can say.
That's the smartest thing you can say, but
Yeah.
people don't want to hear smart sometimes. They want to hear, but it's my body.
Uh, I was talking to somebody just this week about the fact that you're in Japan,
Mm,
and they literally asked me, "How is the pandemic going in Japan?"
mm,
And I was saying, "Well, it's going better than here
mm,
because there's a there's a more of a personal responsibility to not get others sick. So wearing
mm.
masks in Japan has always been the norm if you're
Right,
sick.
right.
So when you tell people, oh, this is to keep not only yourself safe, but everybody else, then it's way simpler for the Japanese mindset from what I've
It's
seen and what I've experienced.
it's common sense. It
Yes,
is
it's
common
common sense.
sense in Japan to not cause problems for others. And this
Mm,
disease causes problems for the elderly, or for the young and compromised. Like, no, why? For what? What it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, Japanese. What I've found in my 11 years here is that Japanese are very willing to take take the hit if
mm,
everyone has to take the hit. You know,
mm.
like it's a matter of duty. If I'm not going to be the only one being patient, but if everyone's being patient, I'm definitely going to be patient. They're not going to see me as the
Oh, okay.
impatient one. You know. So, for example, if someone is making a ruckus on the train, what Japanese will tend to do is everyone will shut down and just
Mm.
meditate and not flip out. You know, rather than all right, you're stopping me from getting my sleep. It's not about just you. It's about the whole, harmony of the train. And yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting.
Mm.
But yeah. Over here, it's a matter of common sense, and there are
Common
no
sense,
dissenting voices allowed on TV.
common sense, decency, and duty. That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Mm, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on with the show because
Mhm.
there's a little bit of a lull here, so we're just gonna jump right into it.
I want to get into it. Yeah.
Boom. going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the past year. I want to hear one good thing. Well, you know what? Let's start off with the bad and the ugly and end on the good thing. Oh, maybe
Mm.
I should have rephrased that.
The bad.
The bad, the ugly,
What?
and the good.
Okay. You want to hear about the bad of last year?
I want to hear the like one bad thing that happened. It doesn't have to be the worst thing that's happened.
The
Just
only
one
bad thing
bad
that
thing.
happened is the worst thing that happened.
Oh, dang.
I mean, no, no, it's just like it was so bad that it
Eclipsed everything
kind of,
else.
yeah, it blew everything else out of the water, you know?
Mm,
And it's interesting though, because that's my narrative mind and my experiential mind are both in sync with that. You know, when I look back
mm,
and I try to narrate the story of last year about, what didn't go well, that's it. You know, um, yeah, I had a death in the family, very close, extremely close. It's my own boy, and it doesn't like for me. It doesn't get worse than that because I was already maxed out. You know,
mm,
um, but that's what the experiential mind will tell you that. The narrative mind will tell you in a lot of detail about the last thing that happened, and they're both in alignment in that sense. Like, I heard about bad things that happened to other people, but I didn't experience it. So when I think about the pain of last year, that's a sharp cutting pain. But all I remember
mm,
it as is a sharp cutting pain. Like other, it's funny. It's funny. I didn't cry as much as I thought I would about that,
mm.
but I cried about other things later that didn't seem so big. You know, um, it's like a chink in the armor. Like it made a chink, the hardest chink. But
Mhm.
at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
I was okay. I was relatively okay, I think. Um, but yeah, yeah, that was the low point. How about you?
Mm.
Last year, 2021.
Whew. Yeah, there was a few
Well,
scares in
well
the health department.
let
Like,
me. Can I rephrase the question though? It's still the bad part,
go ahead,
but I
go
want to.
ahead, go ahead.
It's from my questions that I wanted to ask you.
Oh,
What
okay, okay.
what weighed on you the heaviest
Well, wait, I'm gonna have you.
in
Oof.
2021? What was the heaviest
Uh,
weight?
well, I would still have to say health.
Mm,
And the only thing is that it's not my health, you
mm,
know. So it's not like I can just say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do better," or "I'm going to do this."
mm,
Um, it's the health of others around me. Um,
mm,
it's the whole COVID thing because
mm,
there's of course always some type of scare at work. Like somebody has it, they had to go home. It didn't happen last year, but just this week they had
mm.
to. There was an outbreak, and it was literally down the hallway from where I work.
Right.
There's a clinic where they're giving out vaccines and flu shots and all that good stuff and boosters.
Mm,
And apparently there was a positive case of somebody that was there, and then they had to spray down the whole room, that type of thing.
mm,
And it's maybe it is about health, but more so my mental health. Because yeah, the physical health of others around me is like
mm,
it's kind of up and down, deteriorating, going here and there.
mm,
But it's like, and I hadn't thought about it like that, but my mental state of being
mm,
is being called into question because of
mm,
all these different dangers that are
mm,
around me, or these situations that I'm coming in
mm,
contact with. So
mm.
maybe that's the underlying truth of the matter.
Well, so here's a question. Now, you said that it weighs down on you, or you're not. Well, you didn't say specifically that it weighed on you, but did you feel that, or did you allow yourself to feel out the that weight, that frustration, that reality that, wow, things are kind of chaotic right now. How do I feel about this? Did you allow yourself to feel through that, or did you just kind of close your eyes to it?
Oh no,
Or
no, no. It's um ever since 2020,
mm,
because it's come to the forefront of everything. Like mental health has been a very big thing.
mhm,
So with people working at home and not going to work and being getting adjusted to the new normal,
mhm,
there's all of this talk of mental health
mm,
because of all of the stuff that's going around. So I
mhm,
have noticed, like looking back, I can notice a deterioration.
mm,
And in some moments, I look at my like the situations I'm going through, and I'm like, man, I really just need time to myself, or I just need time away, or I just
mm,
need to get away. And that is more of a sign of mental fatigue, of
mhm,
burnout.
mm,
And yeah, I can see like from the beginning of the year to the end
mm,
of the year, like,
mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Like, wait a minute, wait a
yeah,
minute, wait. A minute. Am I burnt out?
am I
Like
burnt out?
I didn't check. I didn't check. But when we had the miscarriage, like I was like almost absent. Like I felt like I was absent. I felt like I was supposed to cry more and feel it more, but I didn't. And it's like,
Mm,
what's going on? Am I alive? Like, have I been shutting out suffering for so long that when I'm suffering myself, I don't even realize it. You know?
mm, mercy.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's wild. It's really wild. When you don't realize when something's weighing on you. You know, because basically you have these systems in place. Like your mind it's extremely complex, but it's also simple in some regards. Like it's designed in such a way to allow you to experience these different extremes and different types of emotions. But
Mm,
when it boils down to it, it's really good emotions or bad emotions, right? um
mm,
happiness or displeasure, like pleasure or pain. you know and
yeah.
it's like when you just experience pain, 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 pain for too much, you kind of get accustomed to it
Numb.
in a way. Yeah, yeah, numb to it. Otherwise, you don't know the next level of pain. You know,
Mm.
so it's like if you get used to a three, then everything just becomes a three, and then that three becomes zero, and it's just like, oh well,
That becomes a new baseline. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
and that right there, that realization, um, it's funny. Like I think of an extreme pain that I felt when I was a university student when I was young,
Mm,
and my okay, so I was in a long distance relationship, and my girlfriend at the time, she was in Japan, and um, sometimes in Japan, oh well, not sometimes. It's an issue that needs to be addressed and taken care of because it happens to a lot of people. I'm not going to say a majority of people, but it does happen to a lot. It happens
mm.
more than it should. It shouldn't happen at all. But females get groped on the train, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I didn't I wasn't concerned at all until it was my own, my girl.
Mm.
Whoa. And I'm in another country. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. You
Mhm.
know. Like I get the call and I just felt like this rage. Like I didn't even know where to put it. If I was there, what would you do? Like how would you stop it from happening? You could stop it with your presence. Like there was so many things going through my mind.
Mhm.
Um, and there was real anguish there and not being able to do anything about it because I always considered it someone else's problem. One, it's my problem. I'm going to deal with it. Now it's my problem. I can do nothing. Wow. You know, but then, I think after that, she said it happened again, but I'm used to it. And I was like, oh, used to it. No.
Dang.
Oh, no. First time was the
God.
police and everybody's involved and crying. Wah, and it happened again.
It's like, oh, whatever. This is what it is. Yeah,
No.
that's crazy. That's
That's
crazy to think about.
wild. Let that be your daughter. Wow. No. No.
Nah,
I'm not built
nah.
for that. Not built for it, bro. No. Uh, but in reality, women go through that all the time, and
Yeah,
things don't change unless you bring attention to it and stop it, and stop that. Yeah, stop it. Just stop. I don't know. I don't know.
just
Yeah,
don't
I
do
don't
it.
know.
Just
Don't
stop.
do it. It's not that hard.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean that hasn't weighed down on me in years. But the other thing, that weighed down, but it was interesting though that you mentioned health and the health of others because, um, recently, after the whole incident, I've
Mhm,
had to go to the hospital here and there, and I had this moment just the other day where I was writing a message, and the response to it was from this place of selfishness. I was like, but I was thinking, like, it's your appointment. Like, if you're asking me to go, then you should know. You should give me the information about where and what time. Da 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 da.
mm,
And I was going through the whole thing, and I was like, it's not. It's not your appointment though. Like I'm writing it as it's your appointment, but it's our appointment. Your
mm,
health. If I'm fully invested in your health, then I shouldn't be seeing it as your problem. It's my
mhm.
problem. It's
Yeah,
our problem. So I should be asking the questions. I should be there listening. I should, have my head in the game, and you know, like coming, remembering to be there. I'm sure that's
yeah,
something that you uh, went through as well, and that's way more than I'd say that particular issue weighed on me.
mm.
You know,
Well,
the
I
health of
mean,
others.
it's it sometimes is hard, but even the health of those that are outside of my immediate family. So like outside of my household. Like
Mm,
so my
mm.
grandfather and sort of your grandfather, the grandfather that you knew growing up, but not really blood
Spiritual
related.
grandfather.
Spiritual grandfather, chill out.
No, man,
So
no. But for all intents and purposes, much better
yeah,
grandfather than my
for all intents and purposes,
biological
definitely granddad.
grandfather. No, mm, absolutely.
Um, he was in the hospital just shortly ago, and
Mhm,
thank God that he's out of the hospital. But that right there was super nerve wracking because it was just like, okay, it's in the hospital. There's not much I can do being literally across the
mm,
country, except for be in the know. That's the
mhm,
only thing I could do. So I think it was your mother who called me and told me that he was in the hospital.
mhm,
And then I'm like,
mhm,
okay, like what's going on? Told me everything.
mhm,
Um, she said she was gonna call me when she got up to the hospital, and she did. And I heard him. He was eating lunch. Talked to him a little bit, but that was it. They had to move him
mhm,
around in the hospital, and
mhm,
I'm getting all these phone calls now, and it was to the point where at this point I was expecting the worst because
The worst
every
feeling.
time the phone rang. Just like, my goodness, is this the call? Is this the
Hmm.
call? Um, for those of you who don't know, my mom has not been among the living for a while. It's been like 6 years,
Mm.
something like that. Um, but it was also your mother who called me when I was working in Massachusetts and said, your mother is on her
Mm.
deathbed. You need to come right now. I basically cut a hour and a half trip in half and made it down there to be with my mother on her deathbed. Um, and I was kind of thinking that it was going to be something like that. I'm just going to get the call and then I'm going to have to make arrangements to get out there for the funeral. And Anna, my wife, she was like, "Oh, well, do you want to go? Do you want to go visit?" And I was like, "No, because if the worst happens, I don't want to go and then come back and then go again for the funeral. Like that's just it's gonna tear me apart." So I thank God
Mm.
that he's able to get through it all. But it's just like I got multiple calls. And then I finally got some good news on your mom's birthday. And I called her, "Hey, happy birthday. Just wanted to check in with you." We caught up a little bit more and I was
Mm.
like, "Well, is there any news?" And that's when I was able to tell, all the cousins, "Hey, this is the situation now.
Good.
It looks like we're out of the woods for now, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, that was a
Mm.
roller coaster I do not want to ride again. But it's sad to say,
But
it's life. Yeah.
you don't have to ride that roller coaster a couple more times. The bigger the family, the more you're gonna
Oh
hear.
yeah.
You know, uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah, that's another roller coaster. I mean, it's interesting. You said and I'm saying this for the listeners. I'm saying this for other people who've gone through loss. But every call coming in is terrifying.
Yeah.
And every call that you send out, it doesn't get picked up. Oh
Yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah. I did
why aren't
not
you picking up?
mention that.
Are you alive? Are you
Yeah.
alive? Oh man,
Yeah.
that's no joke at all. And the more you think about it, the harder I mean, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult dealing with loss.
Mhm.
But then it's like, okay, the more you think about it, the more insane it sounds. So you don't think about it. That's not good either, right? So hey, that's what we're here for, to talk to you about it
Yeah.
across time and space.
Across
Take you
time
back
and space.
to those rough points, and then how about you got through? Okay,
So, I mean, I think
so
we've dwelt on the
is it the
bad
next
and
question?
ugly for way past, way past enough time. Um,
Hmm.
let's try to pick it
Okay.
up because I don't want to start crying on stream.
Yeah,
All right. So let's
I've
talk
already been
about.
there
So we've
today.
done the bad and ugly. Let's try to
Hmm.
focus on if not the best thing, then one of the better things that has happened this past year.
Mm. Mm.
One of the
Well,
better things, at the very
this has
least.
been this, this itself has been one of the best things about 2021 and going into 2022.
Yeah.
Being able to get out there, get up, online, talking to folks, making content, leaving it for my community in the present and the future, and in homage to the past. Yes, I love it. Um, this is a habit now. This is a habitual thing. It feels wrong. It feels awkward if it doesn't happen.
Doesn't
To
happen.
happen, and it
Yeah.
is. It-
Yeah.
yeah. This is something. This something that when I go back and listen to each episode, I listen fondly. You know, I also listen with some criticism myself, like, oh, I should have said this, and I shouldn't have repeated
Mm.
myself there.
Hindsight is 2020.
However, it does, yeah, it does bring me joy, and I'm just so happy to be here and be able to talk to you and look at you with you.
Right here.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I don't look the right way. That's something I'm grateful for. In 2021, what's or a memory that you look back on fondly when you think of 2021? It was just a week ago.
Uh, just a week ago. Yeah. Um, and
Mm,
mine is basically from 2 weeks ago. Um, so since moving out to California, or well, I have to talk about both visits now. Since moving out to California,
shalom,
there hasn't been a lot of
shalom.
visitation
Mm,
from
mm,
people
mm.
to our household. And I get
Mhm.
it. It's far, it's literally across the country from where I grew up. I
Okay.
mean, I don't expect people to come out every weekend, but
I do.
I it's a 14-hour plane ride
It's not.
from
It's a 14
here.
hour sleep.
14 hours
Go to
sleep. If you
sleep.
can sleep on a plane, yeah, sure.
Go to sleep. That's not that hard.
I
Go ahead.
definitely can. Um, but I was talking to my father earlier last year, and they were like making multiple trips down to Florida, and I was like, "Well, I've been out here for how many years, and nobody's visited me. Like, what's going on? You want hot? We can give you hot.
Hmm.
California is known for it." So I guess he felt the pressure a little bit, and they actually came in the hottest part of the year, which is August. And I was like, "Are y'all sure? Do y'all really want to come?"
Hmm. Hmm.
So it was my dad, my stepmother, and my two sisters,
Hmm.
uh, their children. It was really nice to have them out. We went up to San Diego and
Hmm.
did the whole Little Japan experience, at the very
Yeah.
least for the food. Oh, it
Yeah.
was beautiful. We went to visit more family. I got to drive a lot, which
Hmm.
I enjoy driving.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Um, so that was August, but then my my brother,
Hmm.
quote quote brother. No, I love him like a brother. That's what I call
It's
him.
your brother.
Yeah, it's my brother, my spiritual brother, as you would say.
Okay.
Um, he came out in December, and
Mhm.
the year before last, he wasn't able to come out because pandemic. So
Yeah.
having him come out for Christmas, it was nice because I haven't seen him in 2 years,
Is
and
is is he your little bro, Hamlet?
uh, he's my little brother by like 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
if that.
that's your little
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
Hamlet. Yeah.
So I mean, we like pretty much all the same stuff. We really gel together, and
Hmm.
it's it was really nice seeing him. We got to play Halo. We went through some of the
Mm.
campaigns,
In person. Yeah.
in person, like
Yeah.
couch co-op type thing. We got to
Yeah.
play Halo Infinite, you know. So and we also put together my daughter's bicycle, you know.
Hmm.
So just having him here, took him up
Hmm.
to San Diego. He had karaage for the first time.
Dang.
Um,
That's his first
so
Japanese food.
no, we used to
Oh,
get sushi all the time in in Massachusetts. It
okay.
was a
You've been
constant thing for us.
a good
Yeah.
big brother then.
So
That should
he wouldn't let
balance
me
out.
pay for it, but it's like, okay, well, I'm putting you on, so I guess you can pay for it. But he had sushi.
Okay.
He wouldn't let me pay. No, I'm just like, well, are you
That was
sure you want to
Japanese
get
sushi.
lunch? Like, I got it.
That was
but
Japanese, so you're supposed to just take it.
take it. I wish I
Yeah,
could
you
have.
take the bill. You take the bill.
I wish I could have. He was faster than me. But
Yes.
it was
That,
definitely all good memories.
that
Sophia's
sounds
growing up,
wonderful. That
Anna's,
sounds wonderful.
here, and I love her. So it's, picking out those good moments throughout the
Mm,
year. That's what keeps you going, right?
hmm Um, the best time you have with your brother. I mean, there's so many little different incidents within there. It's just like I'm having a good time. This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think he of all of that? What 2 or 3 places did he enjoy the most?
Um. Well, he told me that he really
And
enjoyed
and
the
these are
taco shop.
the experiences he had at the taco shop. Tell me about that experience there.
Well, that's the thing. I never went with him to the taco shop
So
because
how does
remember,
he
I don't eat
how does
meat.
he talk
I'm
about it?
vegetarian.
Yeah,
So
it's an
my
octopus.
wife took him to the taco shop.
You talking about octopus or what?
No, no, no. I'm talking about just regular tacos, like
Uh,
pork
Taco.
and
Oh, you said
taco.
taco.
No, not like taco. Like no taco.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
exactly the same.
No, 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 no. It doesn't. I mean, I hope our listeners are looking at this on YouTube because the way you said taco was taco, taco.
Taco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not taco.
not taco. No,
Tacos.
it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
DTHACO.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Taco.
Clearly not the. That's not what they sell at Taco Bell. They're not saying Taco Bell, and
No, there's
that you're saying
Taco
something else.
Bell.
Yeah, you're saying something else. Those are tacos.
Those are
Okay.
tacos. Yeah, not
That's
no
not,
crazy
and it's not octopus either.
Americanized.
It's not
No,
octopus
not
either.
octopus. No,
Taco. Yeah. That's taco.
that's
Yeah,
takoyaki. No.
taco.
Um.
Takoyaki. Yeah, not
So
takoyaki. No,
no.
Shigaimasu ne.
Well, technically, homemade tacos are pan fried. So you put oil and you fold them and then you fry them on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it literally is takoyaki.
¿Qué está? What is that? It's not
But
takoyaki.
what was another place? He really
What?
enjoyed the restaurant
Hmm.
in San Diego, the Japanese food.
Why did he
Um,
enjoy that so much?
why did he enjoy it so much?
Yeah, man. Why did he enjoy it? In what ways did he enjoy it? What part of it
Um,
stimulated his mind to say that this is a great experience?
I feel like all of the memories really revolve around food, and I was just thinking about this today. Um,
Mhm.
eating a meal with somebody is the most intimate thing you can do outside of becoming one through the flesh. Just throw it like that because I don't know how young our
You
listeners
read my
and
face. You read
yeah.
my face. Ah.
I
Oh,
mean,
what is wrong with that guy? He's not a middle schooler. Come on.
but I
Go
mean,
ahead. Go
even
ahead.
Jesus says it.
Break bread. No, 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 no,
I
no.
stand
Go
at the
ahead.
door and knock. If any man hears my voice
Mhm.
and opens the door, I will sup with him.
Mm.
To literally have a meal is just intimate, you know,
Mm.
because that's where all the walls come down. Everybody's chewing. Just the simple act of chewing puts your body at ease because nobody eats when they're in danger. Like it's like you flight, like you do. You're not sleeping. You're not eating when you're in danger.
Oh,
You run. We're hardwired for that. You run when you're in
you
danger,
should be. You
or
sure?
you
You sure
fight.
should.
Like that's it. Fight
Yeah.
or flight or freeze. If you really like, that's it. Fight,
Yeah.
flight, freeze. That's it. When you're afraid. But when it comes down to it,
Yeah. I mean,
the most intimate thing you can do besides the act is to eat a meal.
Flight
Yo,
pleasure.
you're giggling, my guy. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
my
enjoying
guy's giggling.
flight. What?
Freeze.
Freeze.
Yes.
Or food. Eat your
You
food.
just
You're gonna
wanted
mute me.
another F
I
in
know
there.
you were about to mute me. Uh,
I need to.
oh goodness.
Oh
Uh,
gosh.
it's a
Oh,
pleasure. It is a pleasure. A fond memory.
oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just trying to hold it down right now. Yeah, go ahead. No, because I have fooded, while I'm running.
Food in.
Fooded when I
Okay.
don't have
But
time in fear. All right.
but you're
Um,
no. It's not fear. You're in a rush. Being in a rush and eating go
mhm,
together.
mhm.
But
It's true too.
nobody's
That's why it's called
literally
fast food.
afraid for their life and decides, I'm gonna have a meal.
I, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that last. I mean, I don't think Jesus was afraid. Jesus wasn't. He didn't feel fear, but he knew that he's about to take all the weight of all the sin of the
Of
world.
all of humanity. That's
Yeah,
it.
and he knew those boys was coming tonight, and he knew that his partner Peter, who's supposed to, oh, I'm a ride or die with you, Jesus. No, I am never going. Man, they're gonna have to kill me before I say, I don't know him. Yeah, I know him. I got his shirt on, don't I?
Uh,
Like the same guy that was just like cutting ears off left and right. Like, oh, what you
yeah.
gonna mess with Jesus? I got chunk, chunk, chunk. The same, yeah. He knew that his boy was gonna just, he's gonna,
That's it.
yeah. So I don't know. I
But he
mean,
wanted it not to happen.
if there's any way you can take this cup from me,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have to, do this, and we can, hey, talk to me. And he got down on his knees. So I mean, I think like bravery is, and this isn't my own thing. That's not anything particularly profound, but bravery is when you feel fear and do it anyway.
Yeah,
If you don't feel
definitely.
fear, then you're stupid. You're a fool. You haven't thought it through, and it's not really brave of you to do it. You
Mm.
haven't even considered the danger involved. Oh yeah, I'll do it. That's just aloof for no reason. All right, and I don't think Jesus was that. He knew, all knowing,
Okay.
and all that good stuff. He knew it was going to be hard. So, showing leadership. Take this cup. All right, this is my flesh. I'm going to give it up for you. Know what this is. Put it in your mouth. Chew on it. Think about that. Yeah, that was pretty hardcore. And yes, I would agree with you that supping is a good time to experience some intimacy there. It's interesting though, like as far as like expectations, like culture kind of screws it up for me a little bit. Like I think
Mm.
in the act of eating together with someone, like it should be the way that you said it. Things all should be uh shown and bore, exactly what you're feeling at that time. When you're tasting the food, this is a temporal experience. It's a culinary art, right? You're experiencing the food at that moment and the way that you feel about it. Sometimes you express it in words, sometimes you express it in groans because it's so good. That should be a moment of true honesty. But society or expectations and all these other things tends to cause that to be, this superficial thing. Like I know when you were in
Mm.
Japan and you see people eating on TV, it's like the most popular thing that you see on TV. Everyone's eating all the time. And
What?
all they say, oishi,
美味しいね。美味しいね. Yeah.
Yeah, they're flipping the sushi over in 360 degrees so you can see it in 4 or 5K, whatever. It's just, and all you can say is oishi.
Oishi ne. Oishi.
And
Oishi.
sometimes, like, I
Oh
feel like I
god.
should be able to say more than just oishi. I feel like they should be able to say more than just oishi, but that's the script. That's what you say. Put it in your mouth and you say it's oishi, and that's it. You know, um, even in the States, expectations. Let the food.
Stop your mouth.
There it is. All right. So how can I even be honest, about what I'm experiencing when I have to let the food stop my mouth? You know,
Mm.
um, some people think that the meal should be an excuse to have a conversation. You have a little pop, little hors d'oeuvre, and you talk over the food. But then other people's expectations is that I don't want to you spit all over my food. I want to experience the food.
Oh
If you
gosh.
want to experience the food for what it is itself, then you need to just order it by yourself. But
Mm.
if eating with people, I'm still in that place. I'm at this point in my life at 37 years old. I think that when you're eating with someone, then you should be talking with that someone about whatever, and it shouldn't be some like provocative topic that makes the food nasty, you know, like,
Mm.
don't go there. But other topics should be on the table, and you should be breathing on each other
Mm.
and perspiring over that spicy food and offering a drink and then notice, hey, do you need a drink? It should be as intimate as you said it. But sometimes it just can't. It's frustrating.
So the what you said really sticks out to me and is extremely Japanese.
Mm,
The temporal nature of a meal.
mm,
So for those who don't know, in Japan, one thing is that when the food is ready, it comes out. Food will
mm,
come out of order
mm,
if, like, say I ordered something that's easier to cook,
mm,
it's gonna come out when it's ready, even if you ordered yours first. So when the food comes out, it comes out and you eat it. Like you
mm,
don't, oh, there's no like, okay, let me wait for every. No, you are paying not only for the food, you're paying for the
mm.
experience.
The
And
experience.
because you're paying for the experience, there's also no doggy bags.
Oh
Not a
no.
thing.
Oh no,
It's
no,
not.
no, no.
You
You can
you have
bring your
that
own.
here. This is
Mm,
where you do it. That's
right.
it. No going home and reheating it, and which was a little hard for Japan, from what I heard during the
Mm,
pandemic, because some restaurants were
mm.
like going under just because they couldn't
Some? No,
do
no, no.
anything. It wasn't in the mindset. I did see some restaurants, some YouTube channels, some
Mm,
restaurants were actually like, okay, well, let's package this up. This is what is it? Like dipping
mm.
noodles?
Uh-huh.
Like they put them like separate, like five separate containers just so you can assemble it at home and then,
Hmm.
have it.
The restaurants that couldn't do that didn't make it.
Mm, mercy.
All right. That's all it is to it. Like, you learn how to make takeout.
Yeah.
You can't eat it in a restaurant. All right, so nobody eats? No. Uber Eats, baby. All right.
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, Oba, what was it? Baba Eats.
Baba Eats.
Yeah, that's when grandma eats at home.
Oh
All
God.
right, and she orders Uber Eats.
Oba-san.
Yeah, Obasan, Baba Eats. I had my wife
Okay.
asking me to bring us something home. Actually, I probably was something. But I was like, "That's saying Baba Eats. You don't want to hear that? You better scoop it up yourself." That's when I was
Oh
selfish.
good.
But I didn't realize that she is Miyuchi. And Miyuchi
Miyuchi.
is yeah, that's an interesting word. I don't know if you can bring it up anywhere there, but Miyuchi is it's two characters. Mi is oneself, the self,
Me.
and
Oh.
Uchi is inside. So inside oneself. When we talk about Miyuchi, it starts with yourself, but then it also refers to within your family. So if, like, for example, someone asks, Miyuchi wa imasu ka? Chikaku ni Miyuchi wa imasu ka? Do you have any people like of your people, close by? Do you have
Oh, okay.
someone like a relative or close by? Um, yeah. So there's this interesting saying in Japan where my wife hates it when I say it, but it's harawa minouchi, and that means that your stomach is inside you. So if people start offering to give you things that you don't really want to eat, but then you say yes out of like obligation,
Mm.
then like the person who's going to have to digest it is you, and the person who's going to have to deal with it
Oh,
later is you. So
you.
you need to take responsibility for the things that you eat. you know is
Mm.
harawa minouchi, right?
Harawa Minouchi.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, not harawa minouchi, I don't need that, because I'm gonna have to digest it. I don't want to hear that.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah,
That's serious.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
it seems so like, duh.
mm,
Of course, my stomach is inside of me, but
mhm.
it's a profound way to state it. So you're gonna have to deal with it.
All right.
Hey.
But when you get married, I'll say this right now. Um, the people who are your miuchi expand outside yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So the things that they digest, if for example she just decides to get drunk or something, I'm gonna have to deal with it. That's miuchi, right? So it's not just like your stomach is your problem. No, no,
Mm.
no, no, no. Our stomach is your problem. My stomach is your problem. Your stomach is my problem. It's our problem. So,
Yeah.
which is interesting. That's what growth comes
Oh
from.
man.
That's where growth comes from, and um, I'd say overall that's one of the things that I I'm most fond about in 2021 is that there was a lot of growth between me, my wife, and the new being I have become as a result. The new being we have become. We
Mm.
are a family, as a result of everything that's happened this year, including the pandemic. My health is not just my health, it's on her, So I can't get sick, and I haven't gotten sick. Not once.
Mm.
Not once. No fever, at least, If I had the sniffles, I had my stuff to take that, get that knocked out because look, can't afford to.
Yeah.
I can't afford to get sick and then give it to you and then you give that to some. No, 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 no. So, when I went back to her hometown just a week ago, I was there a week ago. Yeah, I didn't get anybody sick, and that's extremely important. There were two new babies, one freshly born in
Oh
November. Yeah, I got a new
wow.
niece. What's her name?
Congrats.
What's her name? Momona, Momo-chan.
Momona.
My goodness, my goodness. And I got a new nephew, and I hadn't seen him in a while, but I experienced what you did too with the fam coming actually come to the house with this stupid
Mm.
pandemic. It's like we had no visitors the whole time, no family coming through, and just first visitors in November, next visitors in December, and then we
So,
went to visit. Yeah, a week ago. So it's actually been family around. This is nice. This is nice, and it made me get things in order here. My house, I didn't have a house a year ago this time.
too true. Too
Yo,
true.
that's crazy. It's crazy to think of the amount of growth that's happened. It blows my mind, and I'm so thankful um, that now we have this platform, and I can talk to people from this platform, from this place where I am right now. I could have talked to you where I was before, that you wouldn't have
Yeah.
liked the audio sounded like. You wouldn't have liked. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you want to talk to somebody that has taken a few steps ahead if you're trying to do what they have done.
Mm.
And I've done a few things now, and I'm looking to people who've done even more. And I'm on this growth mindset. That's what 22 is about. You know, if you buy something, whatever it is, it better be about growth, right?
Mm.
Whatever it is, that's the bottom line for me in 2022.
Growth.
Got to be about growth. If it's going
Okay.
to cause decay, I'm not buying it. I'm
Hmm.
not going to put my money there. I'm not going to put my energy there. You can go ahead, but I'm not about that. All right. That's what
I
it's about.
feel that.
Mm.
All right. So I noticed that we have two people listening in.
Oh,
Definitely appreciate that. I haven't seen any comments from you, but if you want to, drop a little something, not in the comment section, but in the live stream chat, then we'll definitely throw it up on the stream. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
unless it's a what I perceive as a government name, I
Hmm.
won't throw it up on the screen, but I'll try to mention it at the very least, because we want to show you that we do appreciate you listening in, taking time, and being here with us. Not just waiting for the podcast to come out on Spotify and Anchor. Shameless plug.
Oh,
Just so
shameless.
you can listen to it. No shame. No
Shame.
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 um,
No
but
shame.
yeah, we do appreciate you being here. Whether you're listening, when we're recording live, or you're listening on Spotify or Anchor, we appreciate it. No, definitely appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only here on episode 12 of Across Time and Space because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're doing this for you. That's it.
That's beautiful.
Period. I don't
Amen,
know
bro.
how much more time you got left, but I mean, we can hit few more subjects.
What? A few more questions, a few more subjects. Because I
Um,
got my questions for the new year. I told you what my resolution was about. But I haven't
all
asked
right, all
you.
right, all right. How
Yeah.
about this? How about this? We are going to do some rapid fire type stuff because I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I hear my wife coming in now. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know where you are as far as time, but
I am
can
across
definitely
time and space, brother. All right.
across time
I've
and space.
opened up things for this new year so we can really blow this thing out of the water.
Okay, all
But
right.
I got questions. I got questions.
Go ahead. Hit him.
All
Hit
right.
the
So you
question.
ready for rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. What you want? Forward looking or back way questions?
Buckway. Um. So I don't know. What are we doing? You tell me.
Okay. I have three back way questions for you and more forward looking. All right. So looking back.
Looking back.
What was on your best of list? All right. In terms of books.
Books.
Yeah. What was your
Whew,
best book of
best
2021?
book. Ah, I can't even remember the name of it. I've been carrying it around with me in my backpack, and it's just like a small read, but it's talking about small ways that you can change the world. So that's kind of what I've been thumbing through here and there.
You started it
If
last year?
I'm, yeah,
Okay.
small little things that change the world. Um, and it's just something I thumb through. Like if I find myself with a little extra time during the
Mhm.
day, um, it's in my backpack that I take to work. Take out the backpack or take out the book and
Okay.
pick up where I left off. Get a couple pages in, maybe during lunch, and uh, then usually I'm eating lunch with somebody, so I don't want to be too rude.
Hmm.
So I try to get in a couple pages, and then of course have lunch. That intimate setting,
All right.
um, to where
Um,
I'm
hold on,
able
hold
to
on,
talk
hold
to
on,
somebody.
hold on. So
What's up?
it's a rapid fire question. So I'm
Oh,
gonna give
and,
you.
and
I'm
I'm
only
taking
gonna
too
give you
long.
30 seconds to answer it.
30 seconds.
20,
All right, all
20 is better, but what? Which one do you want? 20 or 30?
right. I'm gonna challenge myself. Let's do 20.
Okay, there we go. I'm still going with the best then. What was your
Okay.
best purchase of 2021? 10 seconds to think, 20 seconds to answer.
Um, Best purchase of 2021.
Now.
I would have to say my silicone tipped um chopsticks because I was making ramen over the stove and burning myself
Hmm.
constantly. But these things are like really long and they have silicone tips, so I don't have to worry about stuff getting to my food.
Okay, time. What was your best new habit of 2021? 10 seconds to think.
Whew. Best new habit
10 seconds
was
to think.
I don't need the 10 seconds to think.
Starting now.
The best new habit was being more consistent with my walking. So
Mm,
in the Samsung Health app, you can get a snow globe at the end of every month, and I
mm.
actually got them for 11 of the 12 months, and I got a
Woo.
bonus one. So I've been more consistent.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, what was your best podcast? Not
Oh
ATAS, not
man,
ATAS. Best
not
podcast of
ATAS.
2021. Yep.
Um, all right, I got it. So there's one podcast called the Bad Adventist podcast,
Mm,
and I'm Adventist, but there's a lot of things that are seen as like, oh, you can't do that because you're Adventist. But they
mhm.
talk about all of these things and they bring them to light, and it's very refreshing to know that I'm not the only person that thinks a certain way, and not the only person who's like, well, what can and can I not do?
So, good. Okay. Now we're moving. Um, okay. How did you grow um, last year in terms of perspective on health?
Oh, specifically health.
Yes. In terms of perspective as it regards to health, how did you grow?
Okay.
Go.
What I've learned is that it's not all about how much weight you can lift or how much you weigh on a scale. It's
Mhm.
more about if you are enjoying that journey. Yes, it's going to be hard, but you don't want to be like, oh, well, I have to get up and I have to do this. If you're
No.
not going to enjoy it,
Okay. How did you grow in your perspective as it regards to wealth?
mm,
You want that 10 seconds, right? Let's go.
all right. So when it comes to wealth, I have been looking into investment opportunities. I haven't
Mm,
spent anything yet in investment, but I do have more than I've ever had in my savings in my life.
mm,
So I feel like that's a step in the right direction.
mm. Okay. How did you grow in terms of your perspective as it regards to your career?
All right. I've sought to be better at my job, not only for the simple fact of being better at my job, but to look towards management opportunities within my
Mm,
company.
mm,
And I do want to continue to serve out in this current role for a little bit longer before I look into management, but that's kind of where I'm headed.
mm. Okay. You're able to say that with a straight face. 18 seconds, right? Good job. All right. Would you like to look to the future? I mean, a lot of our listeners would like to know what ACE, the SDA, is thinking in terms of 2022, forging ahead. Are you ready?
Do it. Let's go.
All right. Um, now, if your career, right, were a game, and you're a gamer, right? If your
Oh, yeah.
career were a game, what kind of game are you playing?
All right. If
Go.
my career were a game, then I would have to be playing a puzzler,
Mm,
because I do have to fit clients with landlords and make sure that their needs are met to
mm,
be able to connect them with different resources, to connect them with different people that can help them,
mm.
and to make sure that they're housed in a situation that they can inevitably take over for themselves.
Good. Done. What are the rules of the game you're playing? The rules of this puzzler.
Mhm.
Go.
The rules of the game are basically to tailor make the program to fit the family so that they can spread their wings.
Mhm. That's the only rule?
That's the only rule.
Okay. How do players, not pawns, how do players in the puzzler advance?
Okay.
Go.
So players, myself and the clients, have to work together in order to meet the expectations of the landlords. Whether it be financial, whether it be general cleanliness of the place that's going to be kept, we do have to make those expectations. And it's my job to help them, and it's their job to tell me what they want and what they can and can't do.
Okay. Done. And how do players, you're saying that yourself and the clients are both players, how do players lose?
Okay.
Okay.
The only way that the player loses is by not communicating. Because even bad communication, or well, bad outcomes are still
Mhm.
communication, and we can work on those. But if there's no communication, then it's game over.
Mhm. Okay. Um, is the game that you're playing, is it serving you?
Can you explain the question?
Serving. Yeah. So the word is serving. What does serving mean? Is it providing something? Like when I say serve, I usually think of providing something to someone. Um, and what are you being provided? If you are being provided something, or if you were being provided something through playing this game, this puzzler, um, are you still being provided that thing? So first, I guess it's a twofold question, but with the assumption that the game was serving you something in the first place, was it? Was it? Is it? And is it still?
So I usually just like helping people to help people, and
Mm,
it's that intrinsic feeling that I'm doing something to help better somebody that helps me to keep moving along. And of course, the client is getting, housing and their needs met.
mhm,
Um, the only time it's not giving me is when the client is unwilling, or
mm,
there's no feedback. It's all
mm,
me, all me, all me, all me, and nothing's coming back
mm,
to where I can't work with
mm.
the client.
It's like you're not helping them at that point,
Well,
and
I'm helping
communication
them.
is
They're not,
yeah.
and there's no communication. Therefore, it's game over.
Mhm. Okay. Well said. Well said. Um, different line of questions.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you got
I mean,
them,
I got them.
sure.
I got a lot. I got a lot. But I know we're running up on that 1 hour and some change time. I actually haven't
We are one
done.
hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah,
This is
but
not our longest podcast. This is our longest podcast this year,
this is
but not our longest podcast
oh,
ever.
this isn't our longest. Okay, okay. No, no, I thought it was. I thought it was. So I was like, oh man, I don't want to like set a precedent because I'm like crazy
I
questions.
think we've gone an hour and 20 before.
Okay,
I'd
today we're
have to
gonna
check
go.
back, but
All right, let's go. Let's go 115. We're gonna go 115,
I'm
but I
15.
know there's still more on the plate besides these questions about the new year.
All right, fine. Then,
And you haven't asked me, so I know.
I mean, I don't have any questions like that for you. I really do not.
I know, no, I know,
But
but you have another
I
thing
have something
on the docket.
more that
Mm,
might be a little more pressing. And of course, those who are listening in right now can definitely, 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 definitely put something in the live stream because we definitely want to hear what you have to say about this next question. So I'm gonna pose it to you first, right?
To the listeners or to me?
No, to you,
Okay. Okay.
and the listeners at the same time.
Okay.
Because by the time it's time for me to respond, I can read what the listener writes. Okay,
Uh, uh,
you ready?
okay. I'm ready. I was born ready. You see this hard foot?
Okay.
You see that hard foot?
Hot foot, hot foot.
Yeah.
What's next for ATAS?
Mm.
Smoke machines and pipe dreams?
Well, let's see what's coming up next. Something that I definitely want to get to you guys is the next book.
Mm,
Because that's where it started with me. You have the piece of literature, something that came, from somewhere else, some outside source, and I want to see how that affects you, how you're stimulated by it, how it repulses you, or how you're attracted to it, why you're attracted to it. That I love it. All right, and I want to bring in that stimulation through this next book called Homo Deus. Homo Deus, New York
eh,
Times
eh.
bestseller. New York
Nah,
Times
nah,
bestseller.
nah, nah.
There's Homo Deus and there's Homo sapiens. Look,
Ah, yes, we're
there's
starting with
Homo
Sapiens.
Deus. There's Homo Deus and there's Homo sapiens. I'm doing double time, all right, because I've been through both, but I'm going back for the second run at Sapiens, and I'm
Okay.
looking at my notes, and I'm like, oh, man, I really want to know how you feel about these things, the listener and my co-host, and I want to explore it in this is temporal art, but at the same time, we can go back and experience it again. It's insane. All right.
Mm,
Now you can't experience it the same way you did the first time, but you're still experiencing the same audio recording. Um,
yeah.
that brings me back to this thought experiment, and there's so many really good books that I want to share with you guys. That's what's coming down the line. All right, is
Mhm.
this? Yeah, I'm going to talk about the thought experience yet because that just came to me because I was reading about it last night and I was asking my wife about it. She's like, "Don't ask me these difficult questions right before I go to sleep. It's going to give me nightmares." And I'm like, "Babe, it's not going to give you nightmares. I'm going to give you good dreams. Yeah, don't worry about it." All right,
Chill
look,
out.
look. Yeah, that's what's coming. We're
Okay.
also gonna have a couple guest speakers. I want to have a guest speaker. At least maybe once or twice every couple weeks or so.
A quarter?
You know, yeah, at least a quarter. At least a quarter. I mean, it could be a monthly thing, depending on what the audience wants to hear. If they want to hear just more from me directly, hey, I'm gonna be right here for you. It's your boy Tips of Japan. But yeah, bringing in other voices, bringing them voices through the literature, bringing them voices through guest speakers. um that's what I'd like to do in 2022. How about you? Oh, I'm
Okay. You rhyming out here. Okay.
bars.
Um,
Hashtag bars.
hashtag bars. For me, the next thing, or well, something that I want to see in this coming year,
Mm,
Tatas, is definitely a wider perspective than just you and me, because I
mhm,
don't want people to think that, oh, these guys, they're just focused on themselves. And no, I do want to bring in more
mhm,
different voices, because
mhm,
yes, you and I are of the African American persuasion, and maybe the podcast is skewed that direction. We want to make sure
mhm,
that everybody has a voice here. We don't just want to make it about us.
mhm,
um, we're just the catalyst for the
mhm,
conversations. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting some more people
mhm,
into the fold. Um, that being said, we're also looking at not really rebranding, but kind of like hyping up the brand a little bit. Making it nice and shiny and all that good stuff. Trying to be a little more. I want to break into different areas as far as the places we can have the podcast. We're looking into that
mhm.
also. Um, not just on Slack or not Slacker. Sorry, not
Spotify.
just on
Mm,
Spotify and Anchor,
mhm,
but I know that you can find it on Google Podcast. Well, maybe
mhm.
we're gonna try to go the Apple route. Get
iTunes.
everybody on that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then, if you have an RSS, I just learned about this from you, what, 2 days ago? If you have a RSS, what is it called? There's an RSS searcher or
Catcher.
catcher, RSS
Yeah,
catcher.
like a
Then you
podcast
can
catcher.
definitely
Mm.
find us there. But we want to make our presence, you know, a little bit more to where you search on Google and,
Mm.
maybe the fifth result is us,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
getting it, our presence felt, being a little more consistent with exactly when we come out with the audios and all that good stuff so that we can reach more people.
Mhm.
And that's the goal. Widen the reach, widen the scope, and
Widen the scope, widen the reach. And that's all about growth for me. I'm all about
all
that.
growth.
All about that.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's where things are going. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited.
we're at the
I'm
1 minute
excited.
16 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's 116,
Sorry,
but
1 hour 16 minutes.
it's 116. We call it 116. But
116.
oh man, there's so many people that I've been speaking to lately that's just asking about the show. When are you guys on? What are you guys talking about? I'm really looking forward to sharing that and experiencing this journey with all of you and my co-host and myself. When I
Yeah.
look back at myself and say, oh, well, that's where I went across time and space.
Great.
Bam! Whoa! Hey, sorry about that.
This has been Ace of Cross Culture.
It's your boy Tipsy Japan, not dropping the mic because it's attached to an arm these days. Get yourself a pen, a pad, listen again, write it down, because that's what it is.
And until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed.
Shalom, baby.
Shalom.